So, in what was supposed to be a real old-fashioned knockover job to sort of build back Derek Chisora, it looked like more of like a sparring session sort of fight. Before the fight, David Hay had publicly stated to Eddie Hearn that if Derek Chisora had knocked out Senad Gashi, he'd be putting his man forward to go and fight AJ on the June 1st bill. Now that Jarrell Big Baby Miller has sort of pulled out, but I just can't see that happening now. Derek Chisora, he came into the fight and he just didn't look up for it. I think Derek Chisora is the sort of fighter who, he gets up for for the big fights, but if he's fighting anybody who's around or below his level, he just really doesn't seem to give a shit. Like if you look at Derek Chisora, the shape that he came in for the Dillian White fight, that's the sort of level that I was expecting Derek Chisora to come in. Great shape, great engine, great everything. He looks like he's taking it back a couple of levels, maybe 2 or 3 steps, and it definitely showed. He just didn't have the energy and the willingness that he did in the Dillian White rematch. And it definitely didn't help the fact that, Senad Gashi from about round 2 or 3 decided that he only wanted to sort of survive. I am thankful that this was only a 10 rounder because if I would have had to have watched another 2 rounds of this bullshit, I probably would have ended up crying myself to sleep. What can I say? Derek Chisora, he got the win, which is the most important thing, but it was a very boring, lackluster victory. He did hit Senad Gashi with a few good punches, but there was nothing of note. Senad Gashi, he really didn't try to win this fight. I think he just thought to himself, if I can get to the end against Chisora, it's going to be a moral victory. And I think that's exactly what Senad Gashi was trying to go for. I really don't know what he was trying to achieve. I don't know what his cornermen were saying in between the rounds, but I don't know. It was just a really boring, lackluster fight. I do know that Senad Gashi was probably about 3.5 stones lighter than Chisora, and maybe that is part and parcel of the reason why he came in very conservatively, and why he wasn't trying to sort of go into a slugfest. But what can I say? I think Senad Gashi, his best fight previous to that, I think he had fought Carlos Takam on 3 days' notice or something like that, but I don't expect much from Senad Gashi. I think that he is a journeyman in the making, and I just don't think much is going to happen of his career going forwards. Derek Chisora, I think he needs to understand he's never going to get that big fight against AJ or Wilder. He's just not good enough. He's in the twilight of his career at 35 years old. He's already taken 9 losses. He just needs to understand he's a matchroom gatekeeper. He's a level tester. He's just going to be there for the likes of Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren to test their upcoming heavyweights to see what sort of level they're at. But, he's not getting back up there. I felt he was very unfortunate in the Dillian White fight after a great 8th round knockout of Carlos Takam. But, there's just nothing there. Maybe Derek Chisora goes for a rematch with Abit Kabial, because I believe he still has that European title. But as a world champion contender, why would you pay him that much money to go and get sparked out by AJ or Wilder? I can't see him getting a 3rd fight with Dillian White, even though that fight ended so controversially. And I think he just needs to understand that. He's a gatekeeper. He's not... Naturally, fuck it. Let's tell the truth. Derek Chisora is a journeyman. He's lost 9 times already. He has challenged for the world title once upon a time, and he's just never going to get back up to those sort of levels again. It's a hard one because Derek Chisora, he's that British heavyweight that everybody likes. But, just looking at his record, like he's lost to Dillian White twice, Ajit Kabial. He had a split decision loss against Kubrat Pulev in 2016. He got knocked out by Tyson Fury. He got knocked out by David Hay. Vitaly Klitschko, he went the distance with him for the WBC title in 2012. He also lost to Robert Helenius. He lost a points loss to Tyson Fury as well. Man, there's nothing left for him. At 35 years old, all he can do is keep fighting as often as he can and getting his money up. I think he thought by bringing David Haye into his corner, David Haye was going to miraculously take him to new heights. And had he had beaten Dillian Whyte back in December 18, possibly he might have got one more spin off the dice. But, as I said, I think the best case scenario for Derek Chisora is to try and win that European title off of Ajit Cabial, because he isn't getting a shot against Wilder and he ain't getting a shot against bloody AJ. So, he either needs to hang up the gloves or go for the European title, but he's pretty much finished, in my opinion. He's just a yardstick now. He's just there to measure how good upcoming heavyweights is. Now, maybe don't be surprised if he gets another payday. You might see Chisora versus Alexander Usyk on pay-per-view. And as I said, that's a yardstick fight for Usyk to see how good he is before maybe going on to fight AJ. But I don't know. I think it's done for Chisora now. As much as I like him, he's a nice, friendly guy, and people get behind him. We need to be realistic with him. He's not going to hit the target, and at 35 years old, he'll be 36 in December, I believe. His best days are behind him. So, maybe David Haye can just put him out 4 or 5 times a year and just try and get as much money in, and don't even care about the wins and losses. Just go for the fights. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy the fight? Was you as bored as I was? Are you glad that Eddie Hearn pulled this off the main event? Hit like, hit subscribe. That's the end of the show, because Rem Star says so.